Good morning. Happy Thursday. It is coaching day up in our membership. If you are brand new, welcome. On Thursdays at 10, I come in and I try to give you a pep talk, coach you. We talk about life, we talk about business, and I'm hoping that it gives you a little boost, a little inspiration, a little motivation, a little, tactical steps in what to do. And so if you are watching the replay, hashtag replay so I can see that you made it. If you're watching live, say hello so I can see your name and your face in your little circle there. What we're going to be talking about today is I'm going to talk about Lisa Lincoln's question that she posted in our group. I think it was yesterday. Because I think it's a really, really great question. And I feel like we need a little coaching when it comes to that. And I'm going to tell you what that question is in just a second. And then what we're going to be talking about right after that is what I talked about yesterday in the education group. If you are still in the education group, I talked about setting up your days, your priorities, so that you don't burn out, become unwell and unhealthy, ruin your marriage, ruin the relationships in your life and the things that you're actually working for, because, part of the reason why we started this business is because we wanted to provide more for our life, for our kids. We wanted more date nights with our husband and more money to do that. And then as we're growing our business, we are dedicating all of our time, energy, and effort for them, but we're not spending time with them. And so that's what we're going to be talking about after. So if you're here, say hello. Felicia's here. Brianna's here. Good morning. Alexandria's here. Colleen, Patricia, Haley, Maggie, Ashley. Oh, thank you. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying to get my makeup straight. Tammy. I'm continuously practicing with my eyeliner skills. If you have been here from the beginning of the eyeliner saga, I'm trying real hard. It's not perfect, but you know what? It's progress. Okay, so first thing we're going to talk about, if you have which this is something that I told you guys to get in quarter 1, your 2021 journal. It's just a blank notebook. You can get this at Walmart. You get this at Walgreens. Highly, highly recommend it. I don't go anywhere without this. I take this traveling. I take this on vacations. I take this in the bathroom with me. I take it outside. Y'all, this thing comes with me everywhere because, especially if I'm listening to podcasts, it comes with me in the car. If I'm listening to podcasts, if I'm watching a live, if I'm taking a course, it all goes in here. My prayers go in here. My actual journaling, hey, this is how I feel, this is what I think, and I date it, and it's basically a 2021 my life in a notebook. And it's always fun to go back and read your 2020 notebooks or your 2019 notebooks and just see what God did in your life and where you were and how far you've come, because I think sometimes we forget about that. So if you have your notebook and your pens, get those out so that you can just take action and actually do something with the information, the knowledge we're gonna be talking about today. And you're not just a passive learner. I want you to be in it, be present as we're talking about this. Okay, so let's talk about the first question that was posted by Lisa Lincoln. She is obviously one of our BB coaching members. Lisa Lincoln, basically, it was a big long post, but basically what she said is that she's concerned, she's stressed out because her Instagram followers are stuck at 1,154 people. 1,154 people. She is concerned about this. And let me just first tell you, number one, you have 1,154 people watching you, wanting to hear from you, learning from you, excited about what you do. So 1,154, that's more people following you than I had people following me when I started teaching photography, when I started the education group. I just want to put in perspective here, because when I was a photographer and I was making crap tons of money and booking out and was doing my thing and grooving and jiving, I was around 500, 600, 700 people. Like, as you know, I was like in my third year. So let me just first say, Lisa, let's put some perspective here. Like 1,154 people are watching what you do, like are excited about you. Like, let's just put that there. And then her next thing was like, I'm stuck at it and I need more bookings. So these are two different issues. These are two different problems, okay? Her first problem is the fact that she does not like her Instagram following to be at 1,150 people. She doesn't like that. She wants more, okay? So that's problem one. Second problem is more bookings. These are two different problems that don't necessarily correlate, okay? You can have 500 people following you on Instagram and book out like crazy. Like, these are two different problems. So the thing, Lisa, and I don't know if you're watching live or if you're here, but hopefully you watch the replay. Yeah, and Lily said, I would love that number, okay? So here's what you need to ask yourself. Do I want more followers? Do I want to be more popular? Or do I want to make more money or want to make more bookings? Because these are two different issues and you need to attack them two different ways, okay? So if you are, if you're obsessing over this number for whatever reason, because it's a crazy, exceptional number, like this is a really big number. If you're like, okay, I'm stuck here and I need help, what you need to do is to double down on Instagram, which means you follow more people, you like more people's stuff, you comment, you DM, if you want friends, what do you need to do? Be a friend. Like, that's how this works. It goes way back to kindergarten. Like, it's the same concept that like comes into your 35-year-old, life. If you want more followers on Instagram, be on Instagram more and be active more and follow more people and post more, do all the reels, put more hashtags. Like it's almost like a business. Like, if you want more Instagram followers, put more effort into Instagram. But if you want more bookings, if you want more money, this is a second issue. Now, will more followers on Instagram make it appear that you're booking, make it appear that you're popular, make it appear that you're doing well? Sure. That's one of the things. It's like street cred. If you, are like, you know what? I want to invest my money into a photographer. We'll just keep it photography. And you're like, I really like Sarah Sue photography and I really like Jilly Jane photography. Well, Sarah Sue photography, she has 100 million followers, and Jilly Jane photography, she only has 500 followers. They both look about the same. It's more street cred when you have more followers, which is always a great thing, but that does not equate what's in your bank account. That doesn't equate how busy you are. That's not the same thing. Okay. And so if we want to talk about like, how do I get more bookings? The first thing you need to ask yourself is, where do my clients live on the internet? Where do they live? Where do they live? Do they live on Facebook? Do they live on Instagram? Do they live on TikTok? Where do they live on the internet? Do they live on Pinterest? Do they live on YouTube? Do they where are they going when they're like, you know what? Like I'm really want to like spend some time on the internet today. Where do they go? So if you are a senior photographer, I'm 18 years old, but also the parent is probably 40 years old. You have to figure out where both of those live, because the parent is paying for the session. The senior, the 18-year-old, is telling mom who she wants her photographer to be. So if that's the case, then they probably live on Instagram and TikTok, and mom lives on Facebook. If you are a wedding photographer and like you're trying to book brides, your bride is probably 23 to 30 years old ish, and she probably lives somewhere on Facebook and Instagram, which is great because you can put those two birds at one stone. Post on Instagram and automatically goes to Facebook, and you just make sure that you're just killing two birds with one stone. Okay, so first thing you need to do is figure out, where does your clients live on the internet, and then go there. And then what you need to do is you need to figure out, who exactly is my client? What do they struggle with? What is something that they need? What does their work schedule look like? Like, figure out, you need to get to know your ideal client like she is your best friend. You know what she's doing when she wakes up. You know what she's dealing with all day long. You know what her schedule's like. And like, not to be creepy, but like, it's very simple. If you're a family photographer and you're targeting mothers with children, particularly young children, ages 6 months to 6 years, okay? What is she doing at 6 a.m.? What is she doing at 10 a.m.? What is she doing at 6 p.m.? If you know this, you know when to post, what she needs, which means lots and lots of reminders that you're now booking. Like if you can figure out who your person is and where they live and speak to them as often as possible, and like kind of like poke their pain points, like, hey mama, when's the last time that you updated your family photo in your frame on your mantle? I'm now booking spring family portraits, book now, there's only limited spots available. Like, you have to remind them, and you have to talk about the fact that you're booking until you're nauseated. Like, that's how you're going to win at booking. You have to remind people every day, twice a day, that you're booking. Why? Because your biggest competition is not the girl down the street. Your biggest competition is not the popular photographer with the 10,000 followers. Your biggest competition is life. Your biggest competition is the fact that they are busy. They have soccer practice. They're cooking dinner. They have the Bachelor that comes on. They have it like, oh yeah, I gotta like spend time with my husband. Like, your biggest competition is their life. And so if you can show up for them, teach them what to wear to their session, teach them, your 3 favorite locations to shoot families, teach them how to get your kids ready for your family photos. If you can provide value for them and remind them who you are, that you are the best person to serve them, and that you are available for bookings, guess what? You're going to make more bookings. And that's a whole different like problem than your follower count. Yes, it's great to have engagement. Yes, it's great but at the end of the day, you don't need thousands and thousands of followers to get lots and lots of bookings. Unfortunately, they don't always equate. So I hope that makes sense. And so the things that I need you to write down, it's like, okay, how do I get more followers on Instagram? How do I break my 1,154 followers to have more followers? Double down on Instagram. Show up, do the reels, you engage, you DM, you like, you post the reels, you do all the things that you got to do, and focus on that. But if you want more bookings, which was her thing, I need more bookings and I need more seniors in my books, figure out where your clients live and who your clients are, figure out their biggest pain points, figure out what they need, and then provide value to that. Give them what they need, give them what they want, and then tell them that you're booking. Tell them that you're booking all day, every day, you're available. And then another thing, and we talked about this in our marketing lesson for this month in your dashboard. If you haven't watched it, you have 10 days left to go watch it. If you're like, Brittany, I don't know what to post, I don't have a lot of stuff, you have to Be the expert. Teach them what they need to know. You know way more than they do, and you need to be the professional and the expert. Teach them. Be the expert and educate them on what they need to know for their sessions, how to make a better session. Teach them. Show them behind the scenes of what you're doing. Show them what you're doing. I'm cleaning my gear. I'm putting together another client gift. Like, oh, I got another book. Like, show them what it's like to work with you and show them some behind the scenes. It's called the Fixer Upper Marketing. That's why the Fixer Upper show was a hit, because we got to see Chip bust through the walls and then we saw the final product. Okay. All right. So I hope that helps, Lisa, with your question. Facebook and Instagram. I'm trying TikTok. I've neglected my Facebook recently, but I'm getting that back up. Yes, Jody, most of your followers will be other photographers because they want to see what you're doing. Jody's goal is bookings and money. Then double down on telling people who you are, who you serve. I'm now booking. Let me help you with your biggest pain points. Let me put yourself in their shoes and figure out if you can solve their problem, you will never worry about booking. Like, if you can help people, serve them, and show up for them, you will never have a problem booking. But you can't waste your time at places where your people are not. Like, my people are not on TikTok. I am not wasting my time on TikTok. Like, and y'all, honestly, like, my people aren't even really on Instagram. They're just not. People who follow me on Instagram, like, is not always like the person who is going to like book my services. Really, my place is Facebook. And so that's where I spend all my time. All right. How do I get better at Instagram? I never check my Instagram, always get stuck on hashtags or forget to post on there completely. Jenny, my question is, how many bookings have you gotten from Instagram? Where do your bookings come from? How do I get better at Instagram? Jackie Seha, she's one of our bonus coaches in this membership. She also has a free Instagram marketing training in your video training library that you can just hop in anytime in your dashboard. She has such an amazing marketing with Instagram strategies, tactics, and all of that. But don't forget, you have to ask yourself, where do my people live? Where are my bookings coming from? How can I get inside of their head and solve their problems? How can I solve their pain points? And how can I help them with that? If their pain points is the fact that like they can't get their kids together or they can't get their family together to take family portraits, how can you create educational pieces of content? How can you make posts that helps moms get their kids together easily, simplifying that process? What can you provide them? Whether that's the style guides that you have, like what can you do to make their life better and simpler? And then tell them that like you can be the guide, you can be the person that can help them. You can be the person that can comfort them, give them free advice, give them multiple images. And so they don't have to be nickeled and dimed and pay for each and every single. So you get what I'm saying. Figure out their biggest pain points, solve their problems, and you shouldn't have a problem booking. All from Facebook, but I thought maybe I was losing business because I suck at Instagram. No, here's what you do. Marketing is all about testing. That's all marketing is. I'm going to try this and see what happens. I'm going to try this and see what happens. I'm going to try this and see what happens. That's what marketing is, boiled down. Spend some time on Instagram. If your bookings go off the charts and you start booking crazy, by all means, learn more about Instagram, post more on Instagram. Okay. I have found that my effort on Instagram does not always equate what's in my bank account. But when I show up, when I teach, when I share what I know, when I help, when I comment, when I actually engage with my clients and say like, hey, like you look so beautiful, or like, oh my gosh, congratulations on your pregnancy. Like, remember, I'm a photographer. That's not what I say, but like, you know, when you are there loving, serving, helping, providing value to people, and then now booking, now booking, now booking, now booking. I have more spots available. Like, we're opening more dates. We have gotten so much great feedback from our senior sessions at the field that we're going to do more. Like, just offer yourself. Your biggest competition is your client's life. Remember that. And so you have to show up until you're completely nauseated and you feel like you're being obnoxious. And then once you feel that way, show up about 10 times more. Okay. All right. So that was Lisa Lincoln's question. I don't think she's on here, but I hope, Lisa, this has helped you. Again, this is a journey. This is not this is like how you fix your problem. Do this and that'll fix your problem. This is a journey, and it's going to take some work, and it's going to take time. Give yourself some grace. Your 1,154 followers, like, you're doing great. You are doing great. Okay. All right. Now, next thing I wanted to talk about, and so we're going to kind of switch gears here, is I want to speak to my photographers out here. So if this is you, say, yes, this is me, give me some hearts, whatever. If you're at the point in your business where there is tension in your marriage, you've gotten the "mommy, I miss you" thing from your kids, your friends are wondering where you've been, you haven't been to church in a year, and your business, your photography business, is doing fine. It's being like semi-successful. You are getting bookings, you know, you're busy, you're editing, you're doing all the things, you're seeing money come into your account, but your life is on the brink of just shambles. Like, if this is you, I want to talk to you for a second. You don't have to admit it to you if you don't want to, but there will be a time in your life where you reach your goal, your booking goal, you'll reach your income goal, you'll reach your Instagram follower goal. You're going to come to a point where you have reached your goal. You're at the top of the mountain. You did the thing, you pushed through, you climbed the mountain, you reached the goal. And yet you're unhappy. And yet you're still not satisfied. And yet, like, has anyone been here before? When I have gotten to this place 4,000 times in my photography journey, and my business is successful, but everything else, my health, I've been sick, I've gained weight, my friendships are down the drain, like my marriage, like my kid, like, when this happens, I call this the crazy cycle. And the way that you get off this crazy cycle is by taking a step back and reevaluating where you've been spending your time. What has been number one in your life? And we talked about this a couple weeks ago when we talked about priorities. You know, like, we say all day, oh, my Jesus, my number one priority. And yet you haven't prayed, you haven't gotten word, you haven't been to church, you haven't worshiped, you haven't done anything. And then you're like, oh, my family, my marriage, my kids, they're definitely top priority. And yet, you know, when it's time to spend time with your kids, you're like, well, mommy's just going to edit while y'all do this. Well, mommy's just going to, work on my website while y'all do this. Well, I know, babe, we haven't been on a date night in like 3 months, but you know what? Like, it would just like better serve my time if I just worked on my business. Or like, your husband's like, hey, like, let's like Netflix and chill, and then you're like, yeah, but I've got editing to do. I have a client. She needs these pictures by tomorrow. Okay. So like, you're doing all good things for your business, but yet your time is spent with whatever's your priority, whether that's your business or your actual life. And so what I want to encourage you guys to do is to reevaluate where you're spending your time And just because like the Lord is your number one priority does not mean 24/7 you should be like in the word and everything else just like goes to crap. But what I am saying is that if you can figure out a way to be consistent in giving the things in your life that you value, that are priority to you, a little bit of time every single day, your business will ultimately flourish from it. If your marriage is intact, if your family is intact, if your health is intact, if your walk with the Lord is intact, it trickles down into your business. It's science. It trickles down into your business, so you feel more confident showing up. You feel a lot better booking the workshop. You feel a lot better asking your husband, like, hey, like, there's this like wedding course that I really, really need and want. Like, he's going to say yes, and you're going to feel confident like asking him if y'all can make this financial investment because you have spent time with him a little bit every day, and he hasn't felt like your photography is over him. Does this make any sense whatsoever? Y'all let me know if this is resonating with anyone. Show me like, yes, totally, like, no, you're off the rocker. Give me some hearts or something. And so what I need you guys to do with your handy dandy notebook, if you have not done this yet, and your handy dandy planner, these things come with me everywhere. What I need you to do, if this is where you're at right now, if this is like, okay, like my business has literally taken over my life and I have no more life. If this is you right now, what I need you to do is simply write in your notebook what you want your life to feel like and what you want your life to look like. And if it's the way that it's been going, by all means, don't change a thing. But if it's not, and you're like, something has to give, I'm literally waking up and I'm scrolling Instagram. I'm literally waking up and like checking my HoneyBook to see if I have any inquiries. I'm literally like supposed to be playing with my kids and spending time with my kids and nurturing that relationship so they don't grow up and need therapy because mommy wasn't present with them. If, you know, like you're doing that and you're like, you know what, I don't want this to be my life continued like forever. I need you to write down what your life has looked like and what you want your life to look like. Okay, so what has been going on in the last, well, let's just say 4 weeks, the last month of your life, April. Let's just take April. What has it looked like? Where have you been spending all your time? What are you waking up doing? What are you going to bed doing? Who have you been spending your time with? Like, just do like a life eval, okay? And just write it out, whatever comes to you. You can bullet point it, you can write it in like journal form, whatever it is. But ask yourself, like, what has my life looked like and what has my life felt like? Have you been, you know, excited and ready for business? Have you been like doing the date nights and doing the workouts and you're like, you know what, I'm feeling really, really good and it's been great. Then keep doing what you're doing. But if this is not you, then what I need you to do is like, I've been stressed, I've been overwhelmed, I've been overworked. Write that down. Once you're done with that, underneath, I want you to put what I want my life to be like. And then write it down. Whether it's like, I want to wake up and get in the word again. I want to, you know, like spend more intentional time with my kids instead of just like a, you know, like just, we're just sitting in the same room, but not actually having conversation or like intentionality of, you know, spending time together. Like, I want more intimacy in my marriage. I want, you know, like more friendships and like quality time with friends without having to like, you know, like, what do you want your life to look like? Okay. Those are just some simple examples. I want to have boundaries in my business. I want to work on my business from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., not 3 a.m., 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Like, what do you want your life to look like? Okay, so we figured out what your life has been for the last 4 weeks. Now I want you to figure out in May coming up, what do you want your May to look like? What do you want it to feel like? And then what must be true and what needs to change, what needs to be taken away in order for that life, the life that you do want, what has to happen for that. Because here's the deal. And I'm just speaking from personal experience here, and time and time again of screwing this up. We are so fixated on the top of the mountain. We're so fixated on this end goal. We're so fixated on this follower count. We're so fixated on this success that we want, that our life goes to crap. And then once we get to the top, once we get the goal, once we get whatever that is, the thing that we want, and we realize we don't have the energy to celebrate it because we're sick, we don't have our friends and family around to celebrate because they're bitter about the thing that you've done, like, you then realize, this is not what I thought success was. This is not what I thought I would feel like getting to this point. So what I'm wanting to encourage our coaching community and the members in here, and like anyone in the BBE family, like, what I want to encourage you is to figure out a way to not only just like enjoy the process and enjoy your business, but like create a lifestyle that is the best for you, that you actually really love. And that might mean your $40,000 photography income goal, you know, needs to be expanded to be, you know what, maybe 2022, that $40,000 income goal can happen then. And this year, I'm going to reach for the $30,000 income goal because I need to make sure I'm not dead by the time that I get to the top of the mountain, by the time that I reach my goal. I need to make sure that my marriage hasn't fallen apart. I need to make sure that like my kids know that I love them. I need to make sure that like my relationship with the Lord is intact. And sometimes it's going to take a reevaluation of that goal and what success really is for you. I think like as Americans, and this is the last thing I'm going to say, and, you know, I'm going to let you go do your, you know, hopefully you can go do your journaling and your work. As Americans, we have been like taught that success means 6 figures. Success means booking out every single weekend. Success means having 10,000 followers so you can have the swipe up feature on Instagram. You know, like, this is not success. There was someone that I looked up to so much as an entrepreneur, as a mompreneur, as a business owner. I've read all her books. I have invested in her coaching. And what happened, what I'm like watching, is that like her life no longer reflects success to me. Yes, she might be the New York Times bestseller. Yes, she might be hanging out with Oprah. Yes, she might be like, you know, she's got billions of followers. But her life, I mean, maybe it's successful to her, but to me, like, that does not mean success to me. To me, success is a life that you've created that you really, really, really like. And doing and serving and giving and being in God's calling that He has only called you to do, and serving the people only He has asked you to serve. To me, that success is living in God's calling, enjoying the life and the gifts that He's given you. And you know what, you guys? When you do that, in turn comes the American dream, the American success. It's a trickle effect, but it all starts with making sure that your priorities are in check, that you're given intentional time to the things that matter to you, and then serving the people with what you know, with what you can offer, serving and loving God's people with it. I truly believe that if you guys focus on that, focus on your little circle, your little life and the things that matter to you and the things that you want, if you focus on that, your business will in turn be successful. And you'll actually, when you have reached the goal, reached the success, you'll have someone to celebrate it with. You'll have enough health and energy and mindset to like enjoy celebrating it. So anyways, what I need you to do is write down what has my April looked like, felt like, what have my days looked like. And then underneath that, once you're honest with yourself, once you're honest with like, you know, I have literally ignored everyone in my entire life because of the mountaintop that I've been trying to climb. I'm stressed, I'm overwhelmed, I'm overworked, I feel whatever it is, right? Just write it out and be honest. And then underneath that, I need you to write, what do I want my life to look like and feel like? What do I want my days to look like? And then underneath that, and then what do you want to feel like? Underneath that, you need to ask yourself, what must be true for this to happen? What needs to change for this to happen? What needs to stop for this to happen? What do I need to take away for this to happen? And the reason why I'm not saying like write action steps on what you need to do, because most of the time it's not more things. You don't need to keep doing more things. You need to stop doing things in order for you to live the life that you want. And that's not like, it's just so crazy. Because like in business, we're like told like, this is what you do, then you do this, then you do this, and it's do. But really like, in order for you to live a life that you actually want and love and a life that like feels good to you, you probably need to stop doing this, stop doing this, stop doing this, stop doing this. So maybe make a not to do list, a stop doing this list. And then infuse what you actually want in place of the things that you're stopping. Casting Crowns has a song about the American Dream. It's an eye opener. Ooh, I'm interested in that. I'm gonna have to go YouTube that after this. Kami says, I feel like I struggle with the mindset that I have to hustle now and use every spare time to build my biz while still working my full time so that I can have more time and flexibility. Building and working on my biz is either going nowhere, stalling, or full speed ahead, and I'm using every evening sitting on the couch, editing, researching, learning while next to my hubby. Finding this balance is hard, and this has been really helpful. Okay, so Kami, this is something, and this is literally for everyone in here. You're going to realize that in order for you to accomplish the things that you have to do, if you can focus, double down, and almost like get away from your husband and kids for a short amount of time, you can get literally all the things that you need to get done that week. And I have tried this and it has worked. I have read books on this. It's a psychological theory phenomenon. But if you give yourself 6 hours from 6 p.m. to midnight to edit a session, guess how long it's going to take you? 6 hours. But if you pluck yourself out, go to the library, go to Starbucks, go somewhere and say, you know what? I'm going to knock this out. I'm going to start at 6 and I'm going to end at 7 and I'm going to go home with my family. If you can do that, guess how long it's going to take you to edit that session? 1 hour. Why? Because you're only giving yourself that amount of time. It's like when I tell my kids to, hey, you need to clean your room. You've got 5 minutes. If I give my kids all day, guess how long it's going to take them to clean their room? All day. They're going to chase squirrels. They're going to be, look at this. Oh, well, I just found this new thing. I think but no, you have 5 minutes. If you can do that for yourself, you know what? I'm going to sit down. I'm going to give myself 1 hour to edit this session. And I'm going to try to do it as best to my ability, because what I have to remember is that my family is my priority, my marriage, whatever that is that you are replacing that time with. And you know what, you guys? and this is another like pro tip. If you're spending more than 5 hours of your week editing, it's time for you to outsource your editing. Edit-source.com. If you're spending more than 5 hours a week editing, that's 1 hour a day. If you're spending more than 5 hours a week editing, it's time to outsource your editing. Raise your price by $30 and outsource your editing. To Keisha, I'm a hot mess, but I go and try and it's fine. Let's get it. I value time, so I take it and run when it's the busy season. I scale back when I start feeling strained. Get a sitter. Do you? Yes. I finally have my bestie, Carl Beer. Carl Beer is your business bestie. I love that. He helps me so much because we can talk about things that aren't totally in on. So glad I finally have one. That is awesome. Yeah. Another pro tip. Get yourself a business bestie that you can do this life with. All right, friends, I love you guys. I'm about to hop into the academy. So if you're in the academy, we're going to be doing our Q&A. So I love you guys. I hope this was beneficial for you. Just do this homework. Just do it. Just see what happens. What has your life looked like? What has it felt like? What have you been dealing with the last 4 weeks, April? And then what do you want your life to look like? And then what needs to stop in order for that to happen? I can't even find 5 spare hours. Then outsource your editing. It's time. Edit-source.com. Okay, guys, I'll put this all in the description, all the things that we kind of talked about. But I hope this was helpful. Thanks for showing up. I love seeing you guys. I love meeting you guys. Love hanging out with you guys. And until next time, keep loving your people, serving your people, keep showing up for your people and providing value for them. And in the meantime, remember your priorities. So love you guys. Go on a date night if you're married or have a significant other. Go on a date night this weekend and tag me on Instagram so I can see. I would love that. Love you guys. I will see you in the academy if you're in the academy. If not, I'll see you next week.